and needless to say, it was nasty. So if I don't make it through today, y'all know what happens. Good day everyone, and welcome to Adventures with Parker. Today we are here at Canada's Wonderland for the last day of the regular 2019 season. Of course, the last day of Halloween haunts will be tonight, and I'll be covering that in a separate vlog. But as far as normal park operating days, this is it. So today we're gonna do as many rides as we can and just get in that last full experience at Wonderland. It's pretty empty today, so I think we're gonna get through a lot really quickly. So without any further ado, sit back, hold on tight, and let the adventures begin. Alright, we just got off our first coaster for the day, which was Dragonfire. Now this is one I tend to skip a lot because it's nothing too crazy, but it is one of the original 4 coasters that opened with the park in 1981. And it holds a special place for me because it was the first ride I've ever been on that went upside down back when I was 8 years old, I think. So it really unlocked my love for coasters. So yeah, it's always great to come back to it. And yeah, so it was a great one to start out with. Alright, we're just heading into Leviathan, and I don't think I've ever seen the queue this empty. We are just walking right on. Oh my goodness. Alright, I just got off of Leviathan, which of course is the tallest ride in the park and my absolute favorite. Sorry, Yukon Striker. But yeah, like you saw, it was just a walk-on today, which I have never seen. Even on days when it's cold and late in the season, it still has a bit of a lineup, around 5 minutes or so, but this was just a straight walk to the front. But yeah, it's definitely turning out to be a very easy day for rides. So who knows, I might be able to get onto every roller coaster here today. Ride number 3 for today was Wild Beast. Now this is another one of the original 4 roller coasters that opened with the park in 1981. It just got a recent retracking over the past few years, and it's still a little rough. It's a wooden coaster, but hey, it's pretty cool. And it's great to see that one of the original classic coasters of the park is still alive and doing well today.
I'll be dropping at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5.
Alright, making our way into International Festival, we are going to hit up Thunder Run and The Fly. Y'all, I just got off Thunder Run, and just as we were entering the tunnel, a drop of water fell from the roof of the cave and into my mouth. And needless to say, it was nasty. So if I don't make it through today, y'all know what happens. But Thunder Run has a very special place in my heart. It was my favorite coaster as a kid. I remember being at Wonderland close to closing, and I went on it over and over again, like 8 times in a row. It was my first marathon of a coaster. I always love going on The Fly. It is so much fun, but I only ever get to do it either late in the season like it is now or really early like the beginning of May, because the lineups are always so long for this ride. Of course, it's very popular with families, but it only has small 4-person cars, so of course the lineups get pretty backed up. Even now, it was my longest wait of the day. I mean, only 10 minutes, which isn't too bad in the grand scheme of things, but everything else in the park has been a walk-on. So it's not one I do in the summer, but it's definitely one that I love to hit up when I can. All right, we are now making our way into Frontier Canada, which has become my favorite area of the park. And I mean, look at those beautiful fall colors. Oh my goodness, this is gorgeous. This is such a pretty area of the park. And of course, it's home to some of my favorite rides, Vortex and Yukon Striker. Coaster number 7 for today was Vortex, which is always a ride I love to hit up every time I go to Canada's Wonderland. Personally, I rank it as the 4th best coaster in the park, and it is just so beautiful, especially with all of the autumn colors. It is absolutely gorgeous, and it's such a good ride too, so you just can't not do Vortex when you come to the park. I think it's so underrated, and yeah, I'm just gonna stop talking now. I think you guys get the point, but yes, Vortex, so good. All right, coaster number 8 today was Yukon Striker. As of right now, I would say it's my 2nd favorite coaster in the park. It is so much fun. But yeah, if you want to hear more about my thoughts on Yukon Striker, you can check out any of my previous vlogs from this year. All right, I just got off a Mindbuster, another one of the original 4 roller coasters that opened with the park in 1981. And it's fun, but it's a little rough. To go PG-13 for a moment here, it's not the ride for you if you've got big boobs, but it's still fun, it's still worth checking out. All right, we're heading on to Behemoth, and again, it looks like it's just a walk-on. Coming late in the season definitely has its advantages. Coaster number 10 for today was Behemoth, and it is always such a good ride. Opening in 2008, it was the park's first B&M coaster, and also the first addition by Cedar Fair since they purchased the park from Paramount in 2006. And over 10 years later, it's still running great. It's still giving awesome rides, especially today. I found it was giving some really awesome airtime, and yeah, it's just such a good coaster. It's one that I have to do every single time I go. As of right now, it ranks about 3rd on my personal ranking of the coasters here at Canada's Wonderland, but I mean, it's pretty interchangeable with Yukon Striker. It kind of depends on the day. But yeah, if you're coming to the park, don't skip out on Behemoth. It is so good. And for my 11th coaster, I did Backlot Stunt Coaster. Now, it is super fun. It's the park's only launch coaster as of right now. But man, do I miss the special effects. I mean, I know Cedar Fair doesn't have the rights to Italian Job or any of the Paramount movie series, but I'm pretty sure Paramount doesn't own the exclusive rights to Fire, right? I mean, I don't know, they could replace the helicopter with some apocalyptic monster or something. I don't know, just Wonderland. Bring the effects back, please. It made the ride so much more fun, so entertaining, so good, so yeah, even without the effects, it's still fun. But being someone who grew up with the fire and water effects, it's just something I miss, and just, it's something that the ride is lacking. I just got off the time warp, so you know what we gotta do now? I'm just kidding, we're not doing that. My knees hurt, my thighs hurt, and this ride just it ain't it. All right, heading on to coaster number 13, which is Flight Deck. This type of ride has a very bad rep in the coaster community. It is super rough and not the most comfortable coaster experience. No, I don't completely hate Flight Deck. I think it's all right once in a while. Like if you only have a limited amount of time here, Flight Deck is one of those rides you can skip. Same with Time Warp. Really, they should just get rid of Flight Deck and Time Warp and replace it with like a B&M invert or even a flyer. Anything's better than this.
Please sit in an upright position, facing forward with your back and shoulders against the seat.
Wonder Mountain's Guardian, coaster number 14 for today. Well, what can I say? They tried with this ride. Opening in 2013, it was one of Cedar Fair's first major scale dark rides, but it just doesn't cut it for me, especially as a person who's used to Disney and Universal level dark rides. It falls short in a lot of ways. For starters, it's just a screen-based ride. I mean, yeah, they had the coaster part at the beginning and then the surprise at the end, but beyond that, like for the actual dark ride portions, it's all screens, and there really should be some practical sets because it's obvious it's screens. I mean, there's parts where the screens go blank, so it really takes you out of the immersion. On top of that, for the longest time, the guns were not working, which they have fixed, actually. The guns were working today, and the on-ride photos were working again too, which is great because over the past few years, they have just gone to poop. However, it's no longer 3D. They used to give you the glasses and everything. Now it's just a plain old 2D ride, so it's like looking at a regular TV screen. It's missing so much. So Canada Wonderland really needs to invest in fixing up this ride, returning it to its former glories, because right now, it's kind of a disappointment. With an hour and a half left to go, we are now heading into Planet Snoopy and Kidsville to hit up our last 3 roller coasters here at Canada's Wonderland. Coaster number 15 for today is Ghoster Coaster. Now this is the last of the coasters that opened with the park in 1981, and for a small wooden coaster, it sure packs a punch. I mean, it's nothing crazy, but it was my favorite ride growing up as a kid. And I'm pretty sure this is my first coaster too, so I don't ride this all that often, but coming back, it's cool, like it's a throwback. All right, we just got off of Ghoster Coaster. They're only running 1 train, so the lineup was super long. Was it worth it? For the nostalgia and for the challenge, I guess it was. But we are just 1 coaster away from completing our challenge. Maybe 2. I'm not actually sure if I'll be allowed on Taxi Jam, but I can definitely get a ride on Silver Streak. So let's do it. Coaster number 16. Here we come. So it looks like they're only running 1 train on Silver Streak as well, but the lineup is much shorter. All right, we just did Silver Streak, coaster number 16 for today. For a kid's ride, it's kind of fun. It's nice and swoopy, relaxing. It's not a bad ride. But yeah, that might be the end of the challenge. I'll have to double check on Taxi Jam. Yeah, we'll see about that one. We'll get back to you. We did it, my friends. 16 roller coasters in 1 day. In the end, I decided to skip out on Taxi Jam. I'm not actually sure if I'm allowed to ride it as an adult single rider, but I mean, I did everything else, so that counts, right? But yeah, it was so much fun completing this challenge. Right now it's 4:30. The park closes in about half an hour. So I am going to grab a drink, and probably marathon Yukon Striker for the rest of the day. And of course, I'll be back for Halloween Haunt. As you can see, the coaster lineup at Canada's Wonderland is very deep and diverse. In fact, Wonderland is tied with Cedar Point for having the second most roller coasters of any theme park in the world. However, it is lacking in some areas, as a lot of the rides are just cheap clones that you can find at other parks, so it could definitely use some improvement. Despite this, the park does have a very strong top 3 with Behemoth, Leviathan, and Yukon Striker, and like I said earlier, even Vortex could be considered an elite coaster by some. Anyways, that's all for today. Thank you so much for joining. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, and all that wonderful YouTube stuff. And follow me on social media at adb_with_Parker. My goal is to release a new video every single week, so be sure to tune in next Tuesday for my next vlog. And with that, I hope everyone is staying safe. And as always, remember, the adventure is calling.